our little break there. I hope you all were able to stretch, get some water, hydrate, all that fun, good stuff before we sit on down and continue with the Lady Arcaders Super Showcase for Friday night. I'm your new host, Spef. I'll be here for the last couple of runs and showcases that we have for the duration of tonight. Super excited to be here. I'm going to be totally frank with you. I live on the East Coast of the United States. It is 11:49 p.m. for me right now. It is almost midnight. I usually go to bed at about 11 p.m. So, I chugged a coffee. I'm ready to be here. Are you all ready to be here to see these amazing showcases coming up? Because I really hope you are. We've got an eclectic mix of amazing Friday night specials, starting out with Resident Evil Gaiden, going into some bits with Jazz Punk, and then ending it off with a game that you probably haven't seen before and is going to be really, really interesting, and we're really excited to show off with Tamashii. So, stick around. Again, this is the Lady Arcaders Super Showcase, an all-women and femme charity talent event running from August 21st until August 24th, benefiting CARE. The Super Showcase features a bunch of talented women sharing games they love and other gaming-adjacent showcases. And we've got a lot of really cool gaming-adjacent stuff, too, over the weekend, by the way, as a little spoiler. So make sure you tune in throughout the weekend and tell your friends. We've got a bunch of really fun social media that's been going on the entire time that you can check out at ladyarcaders.com. That is the account on Blue Sky. And you can check those out and share them with your friends, and also just hype up all the folks who are involved in this showcase. Every single person who has been showing off their games and game-adjacent materials, if you will, have been incredible so far. So we will continue with even more incredible stuff, so stick around. All right, and we are all set up and ready to go, so I'm going to hand this off to Miss Scarlet Tanager, because right now we have got an incredible showcase of an 80% speedrun of Resident Evil Gaiden for the Game Boy Color.
Hello everyone, my name is Miss Scarlet Tanager, and I like playing spooky horror games. For some reason I decided to pick the spooky horror game that is one, non-canon, and two, very janky. You guys may know me for having the bunnies, and you guys might see the bunnies at the end of the round if you guys are good, and by good I mean donate to a good cause. Punkin Spice, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. So yeah, I'm Punkin Spice. I played this game once. We're not going to consider how long ago that is. There are too many digits that I want to think about there. And I don't know what we're getting into.
Well, judging from my life split, I have played this game 1,130 times!
That is thankfully more digits than it has been years.
Alrighty, so time is going to start when I click on the new game here in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so what is Gaiden? Gaiden is if Resident Evil Revelations had a baby with a Game Boy game. Yes, it is the first Resident Evil that takes place on an ocean liner. Don't listen to the people who say that it was Revelations. They are wrong. Just like the wiki that says the first game where you are playable as Barry Burton is Resident Evil Revelations 2, that is also wrong, because we are playing as Barry Burton. And Bartholomew here decided he wanted to be rude, so I'm going to do a reset. Not a reset of time, don't worry about that. This game has an incredibly generous autosave system, and what I did there was just use the autosave, because that zombie there decided to be very, very rude. That is an example of this game's RNG, of which there is plenty. Alright, so I'm going to keep picking up the Cool Infuse, which we're going to need a second here, and then you're going to see the combat. I'm going to focus a little bit. I will explain the combat afterwards, because this takes a lot of paying attention. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to pick up this and keep going. Hope there's no zombies on the floor. There are not. That is good. So, the combat in Resident Evil Gaiden. Because it's on a Game Boy Color, they couldn't really do the combat in the way that you might know from, the regular Resident Evil games. They did try that, but it never actually got released. It was supposed to be a port of Resident Evil 1. So instead they sort of did a quasi... I don't know exactly how to describe it. Punkin, how would you describe what that looks like? It's like a rail shooter? Not rail shooter.
I hate to say this. It kind of reminds me of how you do attacks in Undertale.
Actually, yeah. No, yeah, I don't know what that would be called, like, from a technical standpoint. But yeah, no, Undertale's probably the closest. So, Resident Evil Gaiden was Undertale before Undertale was Undertale. You've heard it here first. Okay, I'm gonna stick Barry in this corner. Yes, the slidey bar system. Alright, so I did that to bait the zombie out of the corner in order to get past him without getting into a fight. And right here, we're just going to go around the zombie, and I'm going to stick close to this wall because it causes, for some reason, a zombie not to spawn up here that normally would. And then I'm going to just pull out my gun here and get into a fight. 3 hits, that's average. Alright, and then I'm going to pick up, for safety, some extra bullets. Normally I wouldn't pick that up, but again, this is a marathon run, and Gaiden very much doesn't like being nice. It took some effort to make this game a little bit more marathon safe. Thankfully, it now pretty much is entirely marathon safe. Alright, we're just going to run around these zombies. So what is Barry doing here? Well, Leon came here first, and Leon went missing, so now we're going to find Leon. So yes, you get to play as both Barry Burden and Leon in the same game. Don't grab me, don't grab me. Cool, that zombie decided to be nice, and now we're gonna kill this one. There we go, nice, 3 hits. So, some enemies, for some reason, have, items on them. So, when they're key items, you need to make sure to take out the zombie so you can pick up the key item. That's what happened there. We're going to be doing that quite a few times during the run. 2 hits, that's nice. Now, one thing that I hope we don't see, but knowing my luck, we probably will see, is sometimes when you take out a zombie, the zombie decides it doesn't want to die. You know the zombie didn't want to die if it appears on the ground and is a zombie that doesn't have an item. So a zombie that has an item will always appear on the ground, but they will usually be actually dead. If they appear on the ground and they didn't have an item, then sometimes that could be a little bit of a problem. See, like that zombie's on the ground there, but that zombie had an item, so it's fine. What can be a pain is when they appear on the ground and they're not supposed to, and they're in the way. There's probably 10 different parts of the game where that can happen. Hopefully it doesn't. We're just gonna run around these zombies here. Now, there's a couple ways that you can do the glitch coming up here. The world record doesn't actually do the glitch at all. I choose to do it because it's more consistent than trying to take out the tyrants in the normal way. But yes, we're going into a boss fight here. We're gonna do it in a fun way. Alright, let's see if I can... Yeah. I like making Barry face away from the enemy because it's funny. So, what I'm doing here is... Okay, I did it. Right, cool. What I did there is the tyrant skip, or the tyrant glitch. What you do there is you get the tyrant to start trying to grab onto Barry, and very quickly afterwards you get a zombie to do the same thing. For some reason, doing that turns the tyrant into a regular zombie, making the fight a lot easier and a lot safer. Alright, let's see if the zombie's gonna be nice. The zombie is! I've been grabbed in that doorway before. It is not fun. Anytime you get grabbed by a zombie you don't mean to get grabbed by, it's at least 3 to 4 seconds of time loss. Alright, by the way, we have a little girl with us. Her name's Lucia now. Don't worry about her. She's not really going to be important for the speedrun, but in the story of the game, she has shenanigans going on, and the tyrant is actually chasing her down. So we're trying to protect Lucia from the tyrant. This goes about as well as does when any Resident Evil protagonist is trying to protect a small child. Hello, zombie friend.
When has that ever gone poorly?
Never. No, Resident Evil protagonists don't have a, reputation for being terrible babysitters. What are you talking about? Alright. So hopefully this zombie's not going to pop onto the ground after I take him out. I once had this zombie pop onto the ground 3 times in a row. Okay, good. Because yes, sometimes when a zombie decides it doesn't want to die, it can decide it doesn't want to die 3 times in a row. which is rather rude. The reason I took out that zombie is just because it's easier than trying to juke around him afterwards.
I've learned an incredible amount about zombie biology so far.
Okay, cool. That one is another one that can also be very rude. And now we have an assault rifle, because who doesn't need an assault rifle when you're, dealing with zombies on an ocean liner? Alright, we got time for probably one donation if you got any.
Oh, I absolutely do. We
Awesome.
had a wonderful $100 anonymous donation come in that said, wait, speedrunners don't go left? This I gotta see. And that was to the left-hand path for Tamashi later tonight, which got us to 2/3 of the way there already. We just need $50 more donated in order to meet that incentive already. So get those donations in, ! Donate, and thank you so much for that generous donation.
As a lefty myself, as a southpaw, I rather approve of any sort of left-handed paths. Hello, Mr. Zombie. Goodbye, Mr. Zombie.
Oh, does that one not have a name?
I usually call them Mr. Zombie, or I'll call them Charles or Bartholomew. They all have like 15 different names that I just use interchangeably.
I was going to ask how many had names.
Yeah, I just can't be asked to actually remember them. So we're actually fighting the tyrant legitimately, so I'm going to focus here for a second. There we go. Alright, so that is Tyrant 2. That is one of the only time... No, technically, you didn't used to do the final boss legitimately, but I actually routed back in doing it legitimately. Entirely because I dislike the glitch method, because it's too RNG. But anyway, you may have noticed some slowdown there. That is entirely because this game cannot handle having more than like 2 character models on screen at once. So you're frequently going to see Barry or Leon slowing, like I'm doing right here, slowing down for absolutely no reason. That's just because this game is way too big for its britches. Alright, so we gotta make sure to get the library key down here. I've forgotten this before, and few games have a worse, backtracking than Gaiden. Oh, that was a really good fight. Okay, just take 3 out with 3 bullets. Awesome. So that's the key that I need to go. And what we're doing right now is we have acquired Leon. We just found him when we dropped down that hole there a moment ago. And now we need to go find Lucia, because in that fight with the tyrant took Lucia. So we traded Lucia for Leon. I approve of this trade, however, the game decides that we need to go find Lucia. Now the problem is we have no idea where Lucia is. I'm just gonna take out the zombie real quick. Are you gonna be mean? You are not. Awesome. Oh, don't, no. Okay, good. We're fine. Everything's fine. Sometimes the game will summon a zombie when you raise your gun towards another zombie. It will just summon one randomly. Sometimes when it happens like it did right there, if I was about 1 more pixel further down, then I would have been trapped by that zombie and I would have had to take him out. So what was I talking about before I got distracted by a very rude summon zombie?
Leon is a collectible item?
Yes, Leon is a collectible item. He will be less of a collectible item later. The one that's the real collectible item is Lucia, because you literally never use her during the speedrun. But right now, we need to go find Lucia, which means we need to go back to the security room, which is where we are headed right now. But we have to make 1 pit stop along the way, which is why we are taking the route that is technically longer to get up there. Hello, Mr. Zombie. How dare you bite me? That's not very nice.
Honestly, all manners have gone out the window.
Yeah, you'd think the zombies would have a little bit more decor because it's a cruise ship and all, and, fancy people are on cruise ships or something. I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, lucky. Alright, so we're just kipping in here for a second so we can get ourselves another key for another item, or for another doorway. Hello, Mr. Zombie. Why don't you name some of the zombies, Punkin? How about you name this next one?
Alright, this one, this is Jobert.
Jobert the zombie. Well, Jobert the zombie is dead, and I just took a key from him.
I hardly knew him.
Would you accept donations with zombie names in them?
I
if
would, because you have probably enough time for like 2 or 3, because there's not much more going on for here unless they get grabbed by the zombie in this specific. Of course. Okay, yeah, you got time for like 2 or 3 because I got grabbed by the zombie.
Right, well, you heard it here first. If you want to name a zombie, we have now our unofficial Name a Zombie. Get your donations in. Any amount, you get to name a zombie. But there's something I did forget to mention earlier, which is that the $100 anonymous donation, because you can put your donations towards multiple incentives at once, which is amazing, and all those donations go to care, which is even more amazing. But they actually put it towards the freer Crocify the Director Jazz Punk bid war right now, and now Free the Director is in the lead. So if you want to grab that bid war and snipe it, I think it is in the lead by $45. So a $50 donation towards both incentives would not only put Crocification, whatever that means, back in the lead, but also get that left-hand path incentive met for Tamashi later on tonight.
Alrighty, so we just went to the security room and checked the security camera so we could figure out where the tyrant took Lucia. The tyrant took Lucia to the front of the boat. Also, funny story about this railing that I just passed. It took me probably about 50 speedruns of this game to realize you can actually go there. I thought that was off-limits terrain, because the old speedruns also thought it was unpassable terrain. No, you can just walk that way. It's fine. But yeah, the tyrant is hanging out at the bow of the ship, so we have to go all the way to the bow of the ship, which is going to take a hot minute. So if you got any more donations, you got some time.
Well, this is just another shout out for folks who are just joining us that this is the Lady Arcaders Super Showcase, an all-women and femme charity talent event running this entire weekend, all the way until Sunday evening, something like that, August 24th. And we're benefiting CARE, so exclamation point donate in chat to learn more about how you can donate throughout this showcase for CARE. We have just recently passed $2,000 raised for the showcase in the first 2 days, which is incredible. So let's see, can we hit 2,200, 2,500, maybe by the end of tonight? Get those donations in.
What's the current?
We are currently at $2,155.30, I believe it says. 35 cents. $2,155.35 so far.
Hey chat, do you like bunnies? If you like bunnies and you want to see the bunnies, what amount should we have to be, you guys can see bunnies briefly at the end of the run? Live, real bunnies.
Maybe like 2,200, 2,300, something like that. If we make it to 2,200 and that goes towards the left-hand path, that gets us the left-hand path incentive. So I'm here for a double incentive moment.
There we go, let's do that. You guys want to see some bunnies? You better do some donating.
Do it for the bunnies.
Do it for the bunnies. I've got 2 of them. They are very cute. If you guys watched my Lady Arcaders Parasite E2 run last year, I was able to switch my webcam between the bunny cam and the webcam, which we had as an incentive. Can't do that this time because I'm 1 on the PC and 2, it is triple digit heat. But if you guys want to see them at the end of the run, y'all know what to do. Okay, so we're gonna kite this zombie out of here as long as he decides to be good. He is being good, awesome. So I'm keeping him on screen because if I don't, he will zoom back to his original position because this game has very bad object permanence, and once things are off screen, they no longer exist. Alright, so I got both a crowbar and a computer card. All items in this game are just keys, so the crowbar is just a key. So any item I pick up, it's just a key. Thankfully, the way the game is routed, go up twice, the way the game is routed, it's always the first item in your inventory is the next one you have to use, which is awesome. I don't think they did that on purpose, but it's great for a speedrun. Alright, let's see if Thomas here decides to behave. Thomas behaved. Good, Thomas. It's about like 20%-ish of the time that zombie just decides to attack me in the doorway. And half the time that zombie decides to be on the floor, and he didn't this time, which is awesome. I love it when the zombies behave. Mostly because they almost never behave.
Do we give them treats, or would that be unethical?
Well, seeing as they're zombies and the kind of treats they would want to have would be brains, Probably not.
Got it. Unethical.
Yeah, there's this annoying thing called medical ethics. Or just ethics in general. Not that I know much about that. Alright, so we're picking up a fire extinguisher here because off-screen in one of those cutscenes that I skipped, which thankfully this game has skippable cutscenes, part of the ship just randomly blows up. So now we need to go use the fire extinguisher on a thing to get into another place. Again, every item in this game is just a glorified key. And I'm very glad that I managed to remember the routing for this time because the number of times I've lost a run to going to the wrong place on the elevator is a lot. Alright, so we gotta take out the zombie that is in here because the zombie has an item that we need. Okay, that was slightly less than ideal. Whenever you get hit by an enemy, if you see the screen do like a big screen shake, that means you got critted. There are bosses in this game that can one-shot you from full health, which is kind of rude. Again, thankfully this game has an incredibly generous continue system. Alright, so we looked into a thing and saw, oh no, the ship is going to explode. We should stop the ship from exploding. And you know what that means? We need to go find Barry. And you know what that means? We need to go to the security room. Again. So if you have anything to say, we're gonna be walking for a while.
Well, I absolutely do. As a reminder to everyone, we now have a double down incentive trademark. I don't know. That's not an actual thing. We now have a double down incentive that if we can get that left-hand path, that is $50 away, only $50 away. We're already 2/3 of the way there. We need $150 total. Get those donations in. Any amount really counts and really matters. And that additional $50 would also get us over the $2,200 mark, for which we have been told we might get to see some live bunnies on stream. And as one final note about that amount, did you know that for CARE, CARE invests 9 out of every $10 directly into programs? So $44 can provide food for a family of 5 for an entire month. So that donation not only gets us an incentive, not only gets us bunnies, but also directly with CARE can feed a family of 5. Absolutely incredible. So, and also, doesn't have to be just one big $50 donation. Any amount really, really matters.
Awesome. So we are almost to the security room. Because the security room is going to tell us where Barry is. Thankfully, this is the last time we actually need to go into the security room. Hopefully this zombie's going to be nice. The zombie's being nice. Awesome. So that told us that Barry is in another part of the ship. So now we have to backtrack all the way to where we took out those 3 zombies with 3 bullets, which was very satisfying earlier. I believe that's called the library room. So, Punkin, you know some stuff about Resident Evil.
I have played a game or two here and there.
What is Barry Burton the most well-known for?
Okay, we do have to narrow it down a little bit, because I would say investigating the dining room.
Yeah, that's not his magnum.
His beard.
No. What is he most well known for doing?
Disappearing?
No. Barry Burton is most well known for betraying the party! He just got betrayed by Barry. He just took Lucia and handed her over to, I think, Umbrella?
I'll admit, I kind of blocked that out.
Yep. Well, he betrays you. The whole thing is that he betrays you in the first game, right?
But he's got a nice smile. I forgave him for it, you know? I let it go.
Yeah. So yeah, we just got Barry betrayal. Spoiler, you know, he doesn't betray you for long. But yeah, he just kidnapped Lucia and took her onto a submersible that is currently hanging out next to the ship. And we are very cross with him. So I'm going to try and get this dodge first try. This is one of the hardest dodge, probably the 3rd hardest dodge in the game because of the lag that goes on. Let's see if I get it first try. And there we go. So the item that is here is the gas launcher. If you know Gaiden at all, you know how infamous the gas launcher is. The gas launcher, for those who don't know, in Gaiden, has infinite ammo. Because for some reason, whenever you tried to run away from combat with the gas launcher equipped, it just starts infinitely spamming grenade bullets and everything. So yeah, from here on out, we are I need to go down one more. Pretty much invincible. Not entirely invincible, because there are some bosses that can one-shot us. But I'm gonna take this guy out. We are functionally invincible. But yeah. So, now that we have the gas launcher, what we're going to try and do is we're going to try to get to the boiler room so Leon can hopefully stop the ship from sinking so that he can then figure out where in the world Barry took Lucia and rescue her. Of course, this is Resident Evil, it's not going to go exactly how he wants it to, and this zombie also did not want to do what I wanted her to. There we go. So that's what I meant by sometimes when you kill a zombie in this game, it just decides, no, I don't want to die, it's fine. Hopefully that doesn't happen much more because it's a pain. Alright, the reason why we're clearing out these zombies is because we will be coming through here as Barry in a moment. And it just makes it easier to take all these guys out. Alright, are you gonna behave? Maybe? Maybe. Am I gonna get all three of them? Oh my god, am I gonna get all three of them? Yes, please. Usually I only get 2 of these guys into a fight. Alright, even one. Oh, and none of them are on the floor! Awesome! So that means Barry is going to have complete freedom going through there when we're playing as him later. Won't have to dodge anything, it's awesome.
We're really doing a lot of nice things for him, considering he betrayed us.
Yeah, but again, as you said, he's got a really nice beard.
It's true.
Hey, I have a quick update, speaking of very nice things.
Yes!
We actually just surpassed not just $2,200, but $2,300 raised for care so far this marathon.
Oh!
With a $145 donation from Dresden Nova that says, "Show me the bunnies."
You see the buddies every time I stream. Dres is one of my moderators on Twitch.
Oh, that's amazing!
And also, as you might have seen just there, a zombie decided to sit on the ground 3 times in a row. That is really battle RNG. But there's some zombies in particular that are more and less likely to do that. That one in particular likes to be just very rude.
I prefer the term stubborn.
See, this one's also being very rude. There
also,
we go.
as an additional update from that generous donation, we also did meet the Go Left incentive for Tamashi later tonight with that donation, and it was also put towards crocification for Crocify the Director, so we're back to crocification. What is crocification, chat? Wrong answers only.
Oh dear. Punkin, what are you putting in for that?
That's when you force your friend to play Croc for 24 hours straight.
That sounds wonderful.
You have a skewed definition of wonderful, but I respect that.
I'm gonna go with, you turn into the crocodile from Resident Evil 2. Like, you just become the croc.
Ooh,
That sounds very
original.
Well, I mean, the crocodile does, canonically get its head blown off, so... Alright, so we're going to attempt to do the Tyrant glitch again. This one can be very finicky, because I need the Tyrant to get to me, and the zombie not to walk too far away. Nope, it didn't do it that time. Okay. That's why we have resets. Thankfully, it put you in the perfect spot. Is he behaving? Hey! We have successfully turned the Tyrant into a zombie. I mean, he's still there, but just don't pay attention to that.
He's not moving.
And now
I can't see him.
Yeah. And now we are Barry on the sub. Everybody has... What? Oh, darn it. See, this is what I meant by you can get one shot. So I just died, but don't worry about it. We're back here. This is what I meant by very generous autosave. There we go. Now, for some reason, this specific boss, you can use the glitch on. You can't use the grenade launcher glitch on the tyrant bosses, but for some reason, you can use it on that one. But yeah, now we are Barry again. Now, it turns out Barry was lying. He just wanted to figure out the shenanigans that were going down. So he pretended to betray Leon in order to figure out what was happening. But sucks to be them. The sub got infected by the super T-virus shenanigans that are going on here. So there's the tyrant again. Thankfully, the tyrant has rather silly AI, and he's just gonna chill while I pick up these grenade launcher rounds. We're gonna hug the wall here because, yep, there we go. Because that is a lot tighter than it looks. I have gotten caught there on a PB attempt before, and I'm very salty about it. Alright, so we are back on the ship after leaving the zombie-infected sub, which we used to escape the ship in the end of the game, even though it still theoretically has a tyrant on it. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. So we are actually getting relatively... Hello, friend. Relatively near the end of the run here. But joke's on you. We have to do a whole backtrack through the ship right at the end because we have to get to where Leon fought that tyrant so we can rescue him. Which means, you know, running through the entire ship, which is why I cleared it out earlier when I was playing as Leon. So if you got any more donations, we're going to be running for a bit.
So I would like to use this time to remind everyone that this is your last chance before we get to Jazzpunk to free or crocify the director. As mentioned before, crocification is now in the lead by $100. But apparently free the director, according to the runner, is funnier. And I do like a good bit. So if we can get those donations in to free the director instead, that might be pretty funny. But also we could see what crocification means. So if you have any opinions about that, now is the time, ! Donate for care.
As a speedrunner, I need to know, which one saves more frames?
Oh, that's a great question that I don't know the answer to. I'll get back to you on that.
Okay. Well, I got grabbed by another zombie I usually don't get grabbed by. So we're going to be doing the hardest skip in the run. My PB doesn't have it, and I actually, this specific dodge is so difficult that I could theoretically, not this run obviously because I am a minute 30 behind on my PB, but I could theoretically world record this game on a run at some point without getting this dodge. That's how hard this dodge is. So hey look, it's Leon, except it's not Leon, it's a tyrant. Yeah, I didn't get it, cool. So I didn't think I was going to. So we're going to do the fight normally, which is why I picked up those grenade launchers earlier. Now I'm going to focus here for a second. Okay, I should have done it right. I did, cool. There is a very specific way to do these tyrant fights in order to get through them as quickly as possible while using the least amount of ammunition as possible. The way that you have to do it is, for some reason, they used different AI on the tyrant fights. You have to push the tyrant into the back row. There's like 3 levels of 3 row levels in the fights. You can sort of see how far close the zombies are. For the tyrant fights, you have to push them into the back row, then deal enough damage while they are still in the back row in order to take them out. And they can move back up to the front row, which means you have to start over. And I'm very carefully positioning myself for this fight, because for... please tell me I didn't trigger the glitch. There is a glitch that can be triggered in this specific room of the game, where if you get grabbed by a zombie, in that specific room that I was just in, for some reason, it causes the game to hang in 2 doors from now. Don't ask me why. This game was programmed on bubblegum and shoestrings. Who knows why? Hopefully I didn't trigger the glitch. I don't think I did, but I could have. We'll know when I go through the door coming up here in a moment, so cross your fingers.
I'm passing them.
Alright, is the game gonna hang? Is the game gonna hang? Is the game gonna hang? It did not hang! We are clear.
Yay.
So, yeah, I have no idea why the glitch does it, but if you get actually grabbed, like grabbed by the zombie that is in the little alcove there, it causes the game to completely freeze up on that door. That zombie's just chilling on the ground. What name should that zombie get? That last zombie there.
That is Tombert.
Tombert? Okay, what about this one up here? He's being very rude.
Jimbert.
I'm gonna get grabbed here. Oh, no, I didn't. Cool. So, when a zombie is quote-unquote summoned, they can't actually grab you until their second attempt. Fresh zombies can always grab you their first attempt, but summoned ones, second attempt. Now, the tyrant's just here, so we're just gonna say hi.
Hi.
Alright, and I'm gonna focus here. Because I have to time these grenade launchers very carefully in order to take them out in 2 shots. And you can see I only have 2 grenades left. Did I do it right? I did. Cool. This next one, this is actually the final fight coming up here. This is the final tyrant. So after this, we're going to be skipping some cutscenes. And then we'll be good. This one is a very tight timing. And I have messed this up before. You have to time it so the green on the screen goes away and they're in the back row. And if you time it perfectly, it maximizes the damage on the tyrant, which means you can take them out in 2 hits instead of 3. Since I only had 6 grenade launcher rounds and I didn't make the Leon skip, I needed all of those rounds. So as you can see here, Leon has green blood now. Yeah, Leon's a tyrant. This game kills off Leon Scott Kennedy. And also, time. So yes, that was Resident Evil Gaiden. Leon is now a tyrant. He is also dead. Don't pay attention to what happens after this. This game is absolutely canon. Except it's absolutely not canon. But yes, that is Resident Evil Gaiden. Now, I promised you guys some bunnies. So give me just a moment here. Punkin, I'm gonna let you pick which one. Do I pull out Garrus or do I pull out Tally?
Well, I have some personal biases, so it's gonna be Garrus.
You're gonna see Garrus? Okay. I might pull out both of them. We'll see how much time we got. Hello, baby boy. I know. Okay. Hello, big boy. Hello, big boy. This is Garrus Vicarian the Bunny Bun. He is my gentle boy. He is also the largest animal that I have. Let's see if I can get them a little bit more light. There we go. Oh god, that's great. So yes, this is Garrus. He's a lop-eared, mixed bunny. He's not like any one specific breed. He is my big boy. He is probably twice the size of my other rabbit, Tally. And very, very, very soft. And very, very gentle. If this was Tally in my arms right now, she would be trying to eat my chest. Because she is very, very ornery. But yes, this is Garrus boy. Do you guys want to see Tally?
I don't see why not.
Cool. Waiting for confirmation to make sure we get still at time. Okay, I'm gonna go grab the other one. Hold on. Yes, I know, Tally. You know what's coming for you. Yes, I know they do. And this is my very ornery Tally girl. She is very bright in the camera. There we go. Turn that light down. So yes, this is Tally. She is a absolute high-strung beast. She has eaten many cords. She has destroyed many webcams. She has eaten clothes. She has eaten part of my Resident Evil Gaiden case for my cartridge. She got to that once. And she has been very, very on. See, there she goes. And been very, very ornery, but we love her anyway. But yes, this is Tally Girl. And if you want to see more of Garrus and Tally, they have a dedicated webcam on my live stream. So you can come find me over at twitch.tv/Miss Scarlet Tanager. I'm trying to stream on Wednesdays and Thursdays. I haven't this week because I am currently in a triple-digit heat wave and my AC unit is struggle busing, so we're trying to take care of that because my chinchillas need to stay cool. Yes, I also have chinchillas. They sometimes pop up on the live stream, but only when it's cold enough for me to take them out, usually. Yes, Punkin, you got any shoutouts? Oh, you are shedding.
I'll have you know, I am not shedding.
Well, Tally is shedding. All over me.
But, no, I mean, thanks for having me here, everybody. That's all I really got.
Raising money for a good cause with bunnies and zombies.
An unusual mix.
Hey, butthead.
Just a great way to top off an exceptionally fun run with Miss Scarlet Tanager. So thank you so much again for that run, for the bunnies, and thank you to you all, chat, for getting those donations in to go and see those bunnies as a little bit extra. So thank you so much for getting that bonus incentive that we made up on the spot so we could all get to see some bunnies. What a wonderful way to start off this Friday night block of a combination of creepy, crawly games, but funny stuff that we've got coming up next. But the games coming up next aren't the only things that we're thinking about right now, because we've got a whole bunch of showcases throughout the entire weekend, including tomorrow, where we'll be starting off the day with a Sonic CD run, which will be really, really cool. Definitely want to stick around for that showcase tomorrow morning/afternoon, depending on your time zone. But there's an extra little bit that we can see during that showcase, which is an extra up for $150. If we can raise $150 for Care by the end of that run, you'll get to see a little bit extra and see some of the incredible bosses that'll be played through super, super fast in that run. So if you want to see more Sonic CD tomorrow morning, donations can go towards that incentive. And again, as a reminder, now is the time to get your donations into Free or Crocify the Director. I don't know what it means. I'm sorry, I can't explain it to you. Actually, the runner of Jazzpunk explicitly asked for me to not look at anything about the game because they find it more fun when that happens. So thank you, Satan, for enabling me to not understand what Free the Director or Crocifixion means, but I'm very excited to see what either of them mean. And if you are excited to figure out what either of these are, please get your donations in and pick your favorite. We've been told that Free the Director is funnier. So right now that's behind by about $100, but if you want to see the funny, now's the time. We have about 30 minutes into the run to decide whether we will Free or Crocify the Director, and your donations can go towards multiple incentives as well as going towards Care. So again, it's incredible. You can get your donation into that Sonic CD boss rush, and to Free or Crocify the Director all at once. So while we're taking some time here to finish setting up this upcoming run of Jazzpunk with Satan herself, this is going to be a really, really fun one, so you'll definitely want to stick around to see this. I would love to remind you all what we are here for and who we're raising money for. So, founded in 1945 with the creation of the Care Package, CARE is a leading humanitarian organization fighting global poverty. CARE places special focus on working alongside women and girls. Equipped with the proper resources, women and girls have the power to lift whole families and entire communities out of poverty. In 2024, CARE worked in 121 countries, reaching 53 million people through 1,450 projects. To learn more, visit www.care.org, and you can donate with !donate in chat to get that donation link for CARE. All right, well, I'm gonna go take a quick break myself, but we'll be right back, and right after that, we'll go straight into some jazz punk.